What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Nerdy Volume Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about Five Nights at Freddy's, where a troubled security guard begins working at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. While spending his first night on the job, he realizes the late shift at Freddy's won't be so easy to make it through. Sit back, relax, and turn it to 11.
Okay, so did any of us know what this movie was going to be about, like, before going into it? Like, I only briefly knew because of a lot of my friends' children plays this game. and
Yep.
and actually a friend of mine who lives out in Canada actually likes to play one of the songs from the game often. Like when we play Minecraft or something or Phasmophobia, he'll play that song. When playing that with Phasmophobia, that's a different kind of like a vibe because it's supposed to be like intense. Like that's the kind of music you play when the ghost is hunting, but not when you start the game or you're deciding whether you're going to buy something. Like that's my know-how of the movie going in. You know, what about y'all?
Yeah, I only know that there's a game named Five Nights at Freddy's.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is it's supposed to be kind of like a scary game. I don't know if it is. Is it a scary game?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay. All I know is that it's a scary game. The only scene I've ever seen of the game is like the camera like changing like different rooms where the TV is changing to different camera views or whatever. That's the only thing I know about the game. And that there's I thought they were teddy bears, so I didn't know they were mechanical like
Animatronic.
Yeah, animatronic creatures. I thought they were just teddy bears. I did not expect them to be huge. So yeah, my whole knowledge of this game / movie was none.
Okay.
I mean, so I've only known it just as long as Angel's been playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
I've always wondering what was so popular about FNAF, like FNAF this, FNAF that, like
FNAF.
Yeah, and so he's like, oh, look at this game, check this out. I got Chica, got Foxy, and like, who are these guys? So I'm over here just watching over his shoulder, and he's showing me how the game is being played. And just like we said, Leo, it's like the camera switches over, and then you got the animatronics looking at you, and we're right at the camera, and then your battery dies, and yeah, it's just it's very suspenseful because you can't really move around. You're sitting at a desk like how we are right now, and you're just like toggling lights and switches and doors opens and stuff like that. And I think it gets a little bit more crazier as the different parts comes out.
Okay, maybe what is the point of the game other than obviously getting scared? What is the end?
It's a survival game.
Yeah, it's a survival game. You have to get through the nights. That's why it's called Five Nights at Freddy. There's 5 nights to get through. And you're going to see that in the game, the time just goes a little bit faster. Like it'll be like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And then towards the end of like the shift or whatever, it'll go from like 5 to 6 a.m. and say, oh, you made it to the first night. And so that's one. And then you go to the second, third, fourth, and hopefully you go to the fifth. And after the fifth is when you beat the game.
Yeah, so it's basically a survival game. You have to survive 5 nights. It's a trip. Like I was like, how come I've never played this game before? Like,
I mean, I know why I haven't, but
I was just wondering because I'm like,
it's probably a good reason for you to try it, you know?
Yeah, right. All right. Well, knowing that this movie came from a game, how do I say this? I didn't know how they were going to add in like the human side to it, right? Because it's virtually anybody has the chance to survive 5 nights, right? So, you bring in Mike, played by Josh Hutcherson or PETA, I can't whistle on this, but yeah, I don't know.
Gotcha.
Is it 3 or is it 2? 3? I'm pretty sure.
It's 3.
3? Okay.
And just to remind you guys, it's Hunger Games that you're trying to reference right now. Hunger Games.
Yeah. I'm not hungry.
If you know, you know.
And you have him as a security guard, like you said in the synopsis, but you have also his sister, who we don't know anything about yet. But we do know that something's going down with Mike. You know what I mean? Like something's like not clicking with him. He seems very like he just doesn't have anything going on for himself. And we later learn how that all happens. Now, the only reason why I asked earlier if you guys know where the original story is from was because, as you can tell, by the way, everybody, spoilers from this point on, because we haven't even started talking about the actual what's going on in the movie. But essentially, these animatronics are run by the ghost of children, and Mike is going through this whole traumatic thing of losing his brother when he was a kid.
Yep.
And I was just like, I can only imagine the hell that he had to go through because of that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I know what happened to their parents or his parents. Like, we don't really I believe they separated and then they just didn't have anything to do with each other. But then you have the little sister, was it Abby?
Yeah, Abby.
Yep.
And now he has to take care of her while, he probably doesn't have enough faith in himself to be able to, you know what I mean? Because being as he lost his brother when he was a kid. So that's kind of like lifted up to it. So I was just like, they really put like a solid story behind, this game, right? At least to me, I thought it was really cool the way that they did that. And like, and in the mall scene, when he was in line to get, the hot dog on a stick, he sees a kid getting like forcefully pulled by an older man. Mm-hmm. And then, I see him run to him, and I was like, watch him be his dad. Watch that kid, it's that kid's dad. And no, he wailed on him. I was just like, dang, all that pent up stress from when he was a kid. I was just like, you should probably mediate that first. You'd be like, hey man, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Traumatized.
Yeah. Because he started pummeling him, right?
Yeah. I think didn't he tackle him into the fountain?
The fountain, yeah. And he was like, boom,
yeah.
boom.
And then he starts beating him up.
And I'm like, whoa, dude, whoa.
Little boy
I was like, you don't have any facts on what's going on right now. I was like, all it is, it looks like you're fighting a dude that stole your girlfriend. That's how bad, he was fighting it. So yeah. So like, I don't know if Mike's character is actually the person you're playing, or if he's just a story or a part of the story. You know what I mean? So
maybe a little bit of both. Sounds like a little bit of both. I think so.
It's possible. I mean, I don't know if we're all playing security guards, like, because there's also the police officer played by Elizabeth Lale, Vanessa. Yeah, she's I didn't know why she all of a sudden popped up at the door. You know what I mean? I'm like,
on the first night.
There? On the first night, yeah. I'm just like, so like when I watched the trailer, I thought, oh, love interest, weird, but let's go with it. And then when she showed up, I was just like, okay, maybe not.
More like a warning.
Yeah. Or they foreshadowed her character very well. I have to say, like, well, I wouldn't say very well. I would just say, because I didn't know what was going on, like, throughout the movie, you're trying to figure out what's going on. But the puzzle pieces throughout the movie is fairly easy to see. You know what I mean? Was there anything that you guys saw that, that I guess seemed out of place or to the story, or I mean, have you guys played it, or have you seen any gameplay, Ranuma?
I mean, yeah. So I've seen some gameplay, but referring to the movie, I'm trying to I had to watch this movie like twice going into this.
Wow.
Going into this movie because first time we were watching it with the kids, and I didn't really understand it because we had my son Angel over here like blurting out stuff. I'm like, wait, what? Like he's like the FNAF king, right? Okay. And so I'm like, I'm trying to like go over here and analyze as I'm watching while he's over here like blurting out spoilers ahead. And this is his first time watching it. And I'm like, wow, how does he know this? So I watched it a second time to get clear on a couple things before we got into this podcast. I started talking about it. But there is this one scene that stuck out the most. And it was when the security guard was talking to this gentleman played by Matthew Lillard. Wow. Matthew Lillard, Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Actor's name he was playing Steve Raglan. Really, that's his name in the movie? I could have sworn it was something else.
Steve Raglan.
But yeah, he was going through his records. He was going through Mike's records, and he was like, so Michael, and then he just stopped right there, and then took a very dramatic pause, by the way, and got up and got some coffee. Or he offered him coffee too. And then I'm like, strange. And then I remember watching watching this part the first time, and that's when Angel's like, "Oh yeah, that's so and so." I'm like, "Okay, thank you." I think you know
Now,
who I'm talking about.
now I'm curious to know like how well, because once again, I know absolutely nothing about the game, so I didn't know. I didn't even know if there's a storyline to this game, or if it's
Yeah.
just like because like if you play like. You could correct me if I'm wrong, is because I know you've played this a lot more than I have. I've only played it a few handful of times because it scares me to no end. But like Phasmophobia doesn't have a storyline, right? You're a bunch of ghost hunters going in and trying to figure out what a ghost is, and then boom, done.
Yep.
Right? That's pretty much the whole game.
Yep.
So I thought that this game was kind of a similar idea. It's just like you are trying to just survive not getting murdered by these teddy bears, which are obviously not teddy bears. I thought they were, like I said, but I thought that was the whole point of the game. And then if you survive 5 nights, you're set. So is there a storyline to the game? And because from what you're saying, Randolph, is that Angel knows things already, so as if there's a storyline. Like, oh, that's so and so. That means that is this person, and I'm just like, oh, what the heck? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's kind of half of a storyline, and then half of like him knowing the game. Like, for example, there's a scene where the what's her name? Forgot her name. Where she gets
Vanessa?
No, it's the one that infiltrates.
Oh, the babysitter?
Not the babysitter. It's the one that got chomped in half by Freddy. Yeah, I forgot her name, but so the baby, not the babysitter, but the oh my gosh, that's a different story too. Like
The babysitter and her boyfriend and their friends went to Freddy's. Is one of them?
oh yeah, it is the babysitter. Yeah, it is the babysitter.
Right,
Oh, okay.
Max. Her name was Max, I think.
Yeah. So she got chopped off, like her whole body. So anyways, there's a dog animatronic dog there, and apparently that's a secret character in the FNAF game. I mean,
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either, but it's like an Easter egg for you guys.
Right.
There you go. And that's brought to you by my son Angel. But he's like, oh yeah, that's a
Thank you, Angel.
that's a secret character in FNAF. I'm like, really? I wouldn't even know.
Right.
The dog
Definitely the dog one. Yeah. Definitely, this game is for the fans, right? I mean, this movie was for the fans, for all those who are, because talking about secret, what do we call them?
Like an Easter
Animatronics?
egg.
Easter eggs. Thank you. No, Easter eggs.
Oh, Easter
I was like, I know it's egg something. Talking about Easter eggs, because I guess at the end of the movie during the credit, right? It starts to like there's a voice over the credits, and it just starts calling out numbers, and that's supposed to be another Easter egg. But unless you play the game, I don't know. So maybe ask Angel if he knows what those numbers is, because I don't know if he stayed until the very end. But it's at the very end. I'm guessing it's Freddy's voice or maybe one of the other animatronics. But it just starts going 5, 7, 4, 8. Like it just starts saying random numbers, and then the movie finishes and everything with the credits. So, but my wife was telling me that that's supposed to be an Easter egg. If you're like a fan of the game, you would know what that means. And I'm like, well, means nothing to me. Because I've never played it. So, but yeah, that's interesting. So I guess it's. I wish I did play the game. Like I wish I was a fan of the game, so that I would appreciate the movie a little bit more. But then again, maybe maybe it's better that I'm not a fan of the game, because how many movie renditions of games have we watched that we're just like, wow, I wish you never made that. For me,
I wish you never made it.
Yeah, for me, Assassin's Creed was kind of sad. I'm a big fan of the games, and the movie was okay to me. It was not. Watched that movie. I was like,
oh wow.
Oh really? Yeah, it was okay. Tomb Raider, but I've never.
Prince of Persia was good. I enjoyed that.
Prince of Persia. I don't think
Gyllenhaal.
The only Prince of Persia game I played was Prince of Persia that came out in 1998. There's a Prince of Persia game from 1998, somewhere in that time period. I know it's the 90s.
Check that out, dude.
And I remember playing Prince of Persia, and it was really hard. I actually never. I don't think I ever passed the first level because I was a small kid. So I was like, this game is too hard for me, and it was a computer game. So that's why I remember it.
Okay.
And it was like kind of like a bit. Was it bit 32 or no bit 8? What is it called? What is Mario? Mario's the bit 32, bit 16, bit something, whatever.
I don't know.
The blocky kind of graphics, right?
Super blocky.
I think it's 32-bit.
32-bit. Yeah. That
it's by 8.
And Prince of Persia was very much the same in that sense. It was low graphs and everything. But yeah, so Prince of Persia was good, but I've never actually played any of the other games that came out with it. So I have no reference to the game. I can speak for Assassin's Creed because I've played practically all of the Assassin's Creed. And when when the movie came out, I was just like, maybe not. So maybe it's a good thing that I never played Freddy because I wouldn't be disappointed if it didn't match the game to some degree. But for the Easter eggs, I would have loved to have played the game. So I, like Angel, I would have been like, oh, that's that, and oh, that's that. I would love to have picked at all those things. Like, oh, did you see the doggy and whatnot? And
yeah.
So,
he was also saying that the balloon boy was actually in the movie. He's like a little miniature toy kind of thing, but in the game, like he's an actual boy, like trying to get to where you're at. And I think he was saying that because Balloon Boy was left at how the end scene was like the taxi cab driver.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about that little creature thing. Yeah, that was creepy.
Yeah. So they're gonna, I think, from what Angel was telling me, is that they're gonna do a little bit more deeper dive into how Balloon Boy became Balloon Boy. And there's a lot of story. I mean, from the movie, obviously they told everybody how who William Afton is. I'm gonna go ahead and say his name right now, William Afton, whatever. But so he was basically the owner of Fazbear Entertainment, which is Freddy Fazbear Entertainment, the pizzeria. And it's shut down in the 80s. And obviously it shut down because he was doing some crazy stuff. And then apparently, did you catch the guy's animatronic's name? Is it Springtrap or something like that?
No, I don't remember.
Williams?
So his animatronic, it's like the Yellow Bunny one.
Yeah.
Called Springtrap. And so there's more than that. There's like Angel was telling me like, oh yeah, Springtrap and then some other trap. And I'm like, what? And then it makes sense because I don't know if you guys saw it, but in the end where William Afton's body just got disintegrated because the animatronic just trapped him in there. Similarly to what how Chica was throwing Abby into the other one because they wanted her to be one of them. That's basically a trap, and then that's why I think Vanessa was saying they're not just animatronics, there's souls and there's bodies. And I was thinking, oh, okay, but there's literally bodies in there. I think.
Yeah. I mean, they're gone now, but I was just like, wouldn't that place stink? I'm just like, like there'd be like a whole thing about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
it's probably why it went out of business. It just smelled really bad. It's like,
but when Mike got there,
kids here.
I guess they just opened the window or something. I don't know.
It's been forever ago.
At least he's like what 22, 24. I don't know how old he is in the actual movie, but
I think he's probably in his 20s somewhere. Yeah.
So it's been
and those kids died like a long time ago.
Yeah, and I was surprised that none of them was his sibling.
Yeah, I was wondering. It's like okay, so we know that William, right? William is the bad guy.
Yeah.
So Iz was saying that Mike has been having dreams about his brother being kidnapped, and we come to find out that William is who kidnapped his brother a long freaking time ago. And I was also surprised. So my question is like, where's the brother? Like, if he's not in one of the bodies, where is he then?
Yeah, is he just gone?
Dead,
just like,
I mean, I know he's dead. It surprises me that he's not one of the animatronic bodies. Yeah. But there are a bunch of them because you saw a bunch of spare parts in that one room that they kept killing the people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know if he caught it, but then so there's how many kids were there in his dream?
There were 5.
Yeah, I was like, isn't it 5?
Yeah. And then how many animatronics are in the movie?
You have
6.
The bear.
If you count the cupcake.
Yeah.
If you count the cupcake, it's 6. The cupcake that the guy, I don't know what characters holding the cupcake, but
Chica.
Chica. Oh,
Chica's holding.
I don't even know.
Yeah, so there's Foxy.
Chica's a
Freddy,
duck?
Chica.
Oh no, it's wait. Which one is the sixth one? Because I only see 5 on the
No,
picture. I see the
I
bear.
said 5, but 6 if you count the cupcake.
Yeah, in the picture there's only 5, including the cupcake. There's the bear.
Yeah, that's what.
There's the bunny.
Mm-hmm.
There's the duck. There's the fox, and then there's the cupcake.
Yep, that's
6.
what I meant by 6. The 6 is the cupcake.
What are you guys talking about? Bear, bunny, duck,
Yeah.
fox,
Yeah.
cupcake. That is 5. Who's the 6th one? Unless you're talking about the balloon boy or whatever his name is.
Wolf? Or wait, hold on.
No.
That's the fox.
Time out, guys. Time out.
Or he's a wolf. I don't know what he is.
No,
the one-eyed,
the one with the hook.
the one-eyed animal.
That's Foxy. That's Foxy.
Foxy.
Yeah. Let me. Okay. Whoo, man. I wish Angel was here, but he explained it to me, guys.
Okay, break it down for us. Break it down for us.
Goodness. The lead kid. Okay. The lead kid, blonde hair. It was like
The one he was trying to talk to, right?
Yeah. So he was not. He only showed up for a split second, and this animatronic is the golden version of Freddy, the golden Freddy, basically. It's the one that
Is it Super Saiyan Freddy?
You know what? It's like Super Saiyan, more like beat up Freddy kind of thing, because he looks messed up in the game and in the movie. So he's the one who went after Abby because he was the one who told Mike, "We want Abby," right?
Yeah.
At the house.
At the house. So
Okay.
if you look that there's 5 kids. So that's Golden Freddy, Chica, Foxy, and who's the other one?
The
Who did I
cupcake?
miss? No, not the cupcake. There's 4 of them.
Blonde boy, hook, bunny ears.
What?
Blue-eyed girl.
The hat one is Freddy. The hat one is Freddy.
Okay.
Like Freddy, you know?
Yeah, because there's the like looking at the cast. There's 5 ghost kids. There's a blonde boy with hook, with bunny ears, with hat, and blue-eyed girl. So that's 5, and they don't even bring up the cupcake, which is messed up. Where's the cupcake love? You know what I mean?
I think the cupcake is like a straight up machine.
Yeah.
That's why. Like straight
I
up.
don't think it's a straight up machine. That bad boy eat people. You know, like that's a soul in there. That's the soul. That's probably Mike's bro.
So you're saying there are 2 Freddys, but we only ever see one Freddy in the movie.
Which leads me to my next Easter egg. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. So in the game, you see Chica, you see Freddy, you see all of them, right? You see their like look up at the camera and whatnot.
Yeah.
Golden Freddy is the most, like, I wouldn't say sought out, but he's like he comes in and then he leaves. And that's it. You don't see him for the rest of the game. Just like how in the movie, he comes in, drops off Abby, and he's gone. Which is why when she looks back, he disappears. It's
the one that she rides the taxi cab with that's Freddy.
That's Golden.
That's
Golden
okay. That's
Freddy
what I
right
thought,
there.
because I knew it wasn't the same Freddy that's at the Freddy's pizzeria thing. Like I knew that they weren't the same guy only solely because of what they look like. They look totally different.
Right.
But they are essentially the same model, right? Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So the Golden Freddy is that leader boy, the one who was like, "Give me Abby." So he literally went out and destroyed that, or he killed that one
the aunt
chick that was watching.
the auntie.
Oh yeah, the auntie, yeah, that was watching Abby, and so that's why he came out of nowhere, and then that's why when Abby looked back, he's gone, because that's what he does in the game. He comes and goes, so it's kind of like a nod
And okay.
to that, you know.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, 'cause
then
I was like,
Blonde Boy and Freddy kind of they talked to each other almost.
Blonde boy is Golden Freddy.
And then who's the other Freddy?
The one in the hat. He's the only one with the hat. That's in the back. The 4.
Okay.
Because yeah. Go ahead.
No. Go on.
No. So I was because I was confused. I was talking to Angel. I'm like Angel. There's 4 animatronics. Why is there 5 kids? You know. And so he explains it to me, and that's what I got from him. And I was like, oh, that makes sense, because there's 5, and then the cupcake, if you will.
So
really hard to
when I was looking at the cast, there are 2 people playing Freddy. There are 2. So there's Kevin Foster, who plays Freddy, and then you have Travis Willingham, Shout out to Travis, who plays Freddy as well, right? And I was like, wait, why is there two of them? And I knowing that Travis is he's a voice actor, I'm like, oh, maybe he plays Freddy for the game, and that's how I put it. But now you saying that, maybe that's why they have two Freddys. One who plays the one inside of like the regular Freddy, and then the golden Freddy is played by the other one, which would make sense. That's crazy. I did remember thinking to myself when you saw Freddy at the house, I'm like, bro, what happened to his face? He's like all jacked up. What happened to him? But I just it was like a fleeting thought, so I just kept going. It never occurred to me that there might have been two. Now, granted, once again, that's because I never played the game, so I have no idea about this. I just thought like, what a weird situation to have where he's now missing a freaking eyeball, right? So, but I was like, whatever. I just kept going. That's interesting. That's pretty cool. That you see, oh man, now I wish I was a fan again of the game so that I could appreciate those things a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm like watching it, and I'm watching it with Angel, and every kind of comment and any kind of thing that remarks that he made, I was questioning it. I'm like, why did he do that? Why is there like two Freddys? Da 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 da. Like he tried to explain to me like the whole backstory. There's Golden Freddy, and then there's like other Foxies and Chicas and stuff like that. So
which would explain all the other parts that are in that room. Because I'm like, why are there so many different? I think there was another Freddy head somewhere in there that's just sitting there, and like there was different parts. I'm like, what's up with that? Or the bunny? I don't know what the bunny name is. Hopper? What's his name?
Bonnie.
Oh, Bonnie the bunny.
You were close. Bonnie close.
I like that.
Bonnie the bunny.
Bonnie the bunny.
That's funny.
Well, going into the, I guess the history of where all these kids came from, you start to puzzle things together, and this is where I think a little bit of the movie becomes a little bit more predictable. Would you guys say? Mm-hmm. Like things start to make sense, like where or why he sees all the kids at where he does. When he looks at that poster of Nebraska and tries to knock out and go back so he can find who abducted his brother. You see that, you're like, why are those kids there? I was like, that's got to play some kind of significance. That's the first thing I said when those kids were there. I was just like, what? Why are they in that same park? I was like, were they all stolen at the same time? You know what I mean? I was like, was that the case? And it's highly possible that they were all stolen at the same time. And then you see later on that Vanessa had played a big role in that. You know what I mean? Because she was around the same age as him, right? So, who else could lure a kid into a car other than another kid? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so why do all those kids like that girl? Or all the animatronics, they respect that one. They respect Vanessa. And I'm like, why? I was like, her daddy did that to you. What the frick? You know what I'm saying? I was like, with the help of you, possibly, And so it was like everything's just started to fall together, at the second half or the second act of the movie. So, and I'm just like, I think I figured it out, but I don't know how, or I don't know who the father is. Right. And I'm like, and then when they did do the father reveal, I forgot that this man is old. I didn't know he was like in his 50s or maybe 60s. I don't know. Matthew Lillard. I did not know he was
real life.
Yeah. I didn't know his real life age. I didn't know how old he was. And then because
he looks great if he's 60.
Yeah, I think he's 50. I'm not sure. But I was just like, wait, he's Vanessa's dad? And I'm like, ain't no way.
How old is Vanessa?
Well, she's old enough to be a police woman. So dang. I'm assuming she's like in her mid 20s. So, him being like 50 years old makes sense now. But that was like really, I was just like, oh, he's the dad. I was like, why didn't I think? Oh, he's 53 years old.
53, uh-huh.
Yeah. He looks incredible for a 53-year-old.
No, and you make a good point there, because when they revealed them, which by the time things were starting to unravel, when they started talking about because she kind of explained, right, that her father was this guy who killed all these children or whatever, and then like I'm like, oh, I'm guessing oh my gosh, I forgot his name, Matthew. I'm guessing Matthew is the killer, right? Because in my mind, this is how I work when it comes to like a mystery thing. It's like the killer has to be somebody who is introduced.
Yes.
You cannot have a random killer, right?
Yeah.
Never. That kills the story because they have no connection to what's happening. So as they're revealing stuff, and Vanessa says, "Oh, my father is the one who killed all these children," I'm thinking to myself, well, the only person who could be the killer then is Matthew. That means Matthew is your dad, because he's the only character who has not been revealed in this, or there hasn't been another person revealed in this movie, right?
With any importance,
but right, exactly. But at the same time, because Matthew looks so dang young, because I did not think he was in his 50s, right? I was like, well, that doesn't make sense because she's like in her 20s and he's like probably like, I don't know, in his 40s.
Yeah,
he can't be the daddy. How old? How young was he when he had her?
Right.
But I guess he's 53, which if she's in her 20s, that makes sense. That would be like what he might have been in his late 20s, early 30s to have her or whatever. Or when he had her.
Right.
Not him, but the wife.
That's why I'm like, how? I was just saying how, and that's why I was like, I should have known it was him, but I didn't because
he looked too young.
Too young. I was just like, there's no way. It
was
makes sense if that was like her brother. You know what I mean? And the brother,
right, like a really older brother. Yeah, like an older brother. I could understand that completely.
But it was no. That's the dad. That's daddy. And
yeah.
I was like, oh, I didn't see that. I was like, is he? I guess he's pretty old because when I was talking about She's All That was made in the 90s. You know what I mean?
That's true.
We're in 23, past the millennium. Yes, the Millennium Falcon. Yeah, and so I'm like, oh wow, that was I was like, and like the way that I reacted, seemed like, oh wow, that was such a great twist. But for me, it was more like, wait, how old is he? Like totally disregard that he could always have played her father. He could always. It didn't matter the age. But for me, it didn't make sense because I was like, that dude isn't that old, is he? 53? Never popped up in my head until after I saw him. I was like, what? She's All That 97, 6. Like, oh my gosh, that was like 20 years ago, 30 years ago almost. I'm like, that's. He could have had her at She's All That. You know what I mean? She could have had her then.
That's true.
Nah, but well, being as that, like, we went through everything. So was there anybody that stuck out to you as far as like their acting goes, or I guess someone that didn't do very well, like that kid, the one that said he wanted Abby. That kid, if he ends up being typecasted for like horror flicks, no, he was pretty good because like he played that. I'll help you, like throughout the whole movie that you see him, and then he's like, oh no, we had a deal. The kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, buddy, you are creepy. I like it. So I think he made a big impression on me as far as his acting goes. Like, I thought I was like, if anything, I hope if they do a sequel or anything like that, like keep this kid until, of course, he's a full grown adult. Can't be a kid anymore.
Then throw him out. No, just
leave him. No. But
acting wise, I think everybody did a pretty good job. I thought the cast was well put together. I haven't seen Josh in forever.
Oh really?
I always think him from isn't it Bridge to Terabithia?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's how. That's every time I see him, I just think of Bridge to Terabithia, which is one of my brothers. He hates that movie. Bring up Bridge to Terabithia to him, and he will go on a rant, which is hilarious. Because my brother, if you know anything about my brother, he doesn't rant about much of anything. He's always like go with the flow kind of guy, right? But you bring Bridge to Terabithia, he will spend 30 minutes talking to you about how much he hates that movie, and only for the simple reason, which I agree, only for the simple reason because the girl in that movie dies, and it pisses him off that the girl dies. I'm like, bro, lucky you never lucky you don't remember watching My Girl with the kid from Home Alone. Oh. That was a sad movie. Woo!
Oh man,
talk about a kid dying, and you're just like, what the frick? That was ooh. But in that one, Home Alone is the one that dies. The kid that plays Home Alone. I don't know what his real name is.
I do remember that. How was it? Zathura. Did you ever watch that movie? That's the one with Josh Hutcherson. But there was a series that he did on YouTube, I believe. I'm trying to find it. Future Man, and he was the main character, and he would go in and out of the time to try to save certain futures and past. It was a trip, and I'm like, is this like okay? Because I guess he had just finished Hunger Games, and I was just like, what is this YouTube episode short kind of thing? But yeah, no, it ended up being a really good show. I think it's called Future Man. That's the one with Seth Rogen's in it. I don't remember him being in there.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah, Seth Rogen's in there. Yeah, see, he did some good works. So him being like super traumatic, I was just like, man, why like you sold me, dog. You look rough. You know what I mean? Like you look like you've seen better days, dog. And in my head, I'm just like, man, like there's so many other options you could have done. With the aunt getting in the way. Oh yeah, by the way, the aunt too, man. She sucked, but she was great. She was great as someone who sucked. You know what I'm saying? Man, I was just like, oh, this, oh man, just a couple cracks, boom, no,
Just a little bit.
a couple cracks, not too much. No, not only did she get a couple cracks, she died.
By golden.
And I'm like, oh, I was like, oh wow, if they're not only subjected to their hometown advantage, they don't have to be at the arcade, like I think if anything, oh man, like there was a couple of times that Abby, the character, like got me angry, like when she didn't want to eat. I was like, girl, you better eat. Your brother is working hard. You know what I mean? I was just like, your brother's working hard for you to even buy that food, And
Right.
I was really disappointed at the babysitter. Like at the end of you only see the babysitter, but then you introduce her boyfriend and the aunt to know each other. You know what I mean? They have like some kind of bond. And the whole time I'm thinking that the girl wanted Mike to propose to the babysitter. I thought she liked the babysitter, but no, she wanted her man to marry her. And I'm like, who is this guy? This guy's he's introduced as a shady character, and then obviously you know the decision she decided to make and the consequences she had to go through. I was like, oh dang it! The babysitter was probably the coolest person outside of the what's Vanessa
Main characters.
Vanessa. Because she seemed cool, right? Like weird, like suspicious, but she was cool. Like I was like, okay, I like Vanessa. She's kind of cool, weird but cool. And then you see Max, the babysitter. I was like, okay, I can get behind her. She's probably gonna like go out in style if she has a death flag over her. I thought maybe she'll save Abby, and it's like, oh nah, she don't care about none of that.
Nope.
And I was, I'm so. Yeah, and Max didn't sell me on her character because I'm just like, I thought you liked Mike. You guys are just homies. I was like, who's this guy? I was like, okay, never mind. I was like, did Angel say anything about those characters or side characters like Max and her boyfriend, the two homies that wasn't afraid of messing up a pizza joint?
Not really.
So they're not canon.
They're just extras.
They're just there. Yeah.
Shucks.
Cut them out.
You want to know another Easter egg?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
So in the game, obviously you can only look left, right, pan, left, right, look at the monitor, not look at the monitor. So in the office, there's a poster that says celebrate, and it's a picture of Bonnie, Chica, and Freddy on there, right? So that celebrate poster was actually in the movie. We really just couldn't see it because the Nebraska poster was put over it.
Oh, and
because now it pans out where Mike was just sitting. I think he was already like knocked out on the desk, but the Nebraska poster was like on that celebrate poster, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I remember that because it's like the first thing that you see when you're panning left and right. So you see that celebrate poster. Like, oh, that's right there. That's pretty cool. And then another thing is, I think the kids came into the picture as soon as he started falling asleep inside Freddy's, right? Okay, so like basically the souls visiting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was crazy. Yeah, I was just like, oh, yo, are these dead kids? It was the first thing I thought. I was like, whoa. And the way they ran gave me that. Oh man, what I forgot the movie that it reminded me of, where they just start like just chucking and just running. You know what I mean? Just trucking.
Children of the Corn, or no?
Was it Children of the Corn? Oh my gosh, whatever it was, they just started dipping out. I'm like, oh, whoa, okay. But like, I was like, oh, you're lucid dreaming is basically what he was doing. I was like, bro, I was just like, he should have sought someone who's done what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like someone who's returned to their dreams. I was like, bro, you can lift mountains in there. You know, you know what I mean? I was like, the subconscious is incredible because, you know, essentially that's your space. And that was like, I remember every time he went in, I was just like, come on, dude, just like telekinetically grab your brother and pull him out of the car, or the driver, since you know it's not real. You know, it's not your real brother, but take the driver out. I'm like, pop the tires with your mind. I'm just like, come on, dude, this is your dream. This is your mind. You know, you're the king of your world. All those kids they wouldn't ever run if you were a true lucid dreamer. You know what I mean? They couldn't escape you. You know. No, but you know, aside from the plot twist, the only thing that surprised me was Matthew Lillard's age, which is funny because it has nothing to do with the movie. and
yeah, me too.
Yeah, I mean, as predictable as the situation was,
his age was not.
His age was not. Yeah, so I don't know if that's a plot twist, but that was a plot twist to me. Right. I did see everything else coming. I wasn't surprised about Vanessa's hand in it. That's where I was just, oh, that's why she came early. That's why she was like, boom, right there, first night. You know, Mike started working, not because he looked foreign and she saw him from across the street. You know what I mean? Like I thought,
and she knows where all the supplies are at.
Yeah.
Too.
Whoa.
Or she knew everything about them.
Yeah, she knew everything
because of her dad is the one that opened it, right? That's what she said.
Yeah, I was definitely suspicious of her from the moment she like, oh well, this is where I'm like, how do you know where all this stuff is at?
Yeah.
What are we talking about right now?
Yeah, and so
you come to this haunted restaurant and you have still lived past 5 days. Yeah. Oh, you definitely part of this. If you know where everything is,
you are it.
Right.
I was like,
so yeah, it didn't surprise me at all that she was part of it, and yeah,
it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty nuts to see that, and then you're just like, wow, and you're a cop. I was like, that's crazy. I was like, that's wild, and I guess she still played her role for her father because Matthew Lillard's character, or Steve, or Fazbear, whatever his name is, he manipulated her to continue working for him, and I'm like, that is wild. That's like that power of suggestion thing. You know what I mean? Where
I think she was also scared of him.
Gaslighting. True, but I mean, she's a cop. I was like, I'm pretty sure she could have probably fought him.
Yeah, but he had
shot him.
He had possessed animatronics and a super powered animatronic suit that he could use at any time to kill her.
That's true. I guess.
I'm just saying.
She got a gun though. You know what I mean? Like, and she got the power of water on her side. You know what I mean?
You got a good point there.
Just like,
but are they?
Huh?
Oh no, they are.
They run on. They run on electricity. Like there may be souls, but those bad boys can't move.
And the spirits of the children.
The spirits of the children. Gold Fazbear, Super Saiyan. You know, that's
what I miss.
You know, that's the funniest part is the gold Fazbear version of the hat. I was just like, so he turns Super Saiyan? That's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. Well, if I were to grade, was there anything you guys didn't like about the show?
It was alright.
It was okay.
I didn't. Yeah, it was. I didn't expect much of it.
Yeah.
What I liked was that it wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. So that was a plus for me. I'm sure people who wanted to get scared did not like that, but I don't. My wife always forces me to watch those things, and so I end up having to.
Oh man.
But so to me that's a positive. But I know other people who would watch it and want to be scared, they probably would be disappointed because it wasn't really scary at all.
No.
I think the scariest part, which wasn't even scary, is more like anxiety driven, is when the cupcake went into the
the air vent?
Into the vent.
Oh man.
And it's like chasing the guy. That brings anxiety in me. It's like, oh my God, get away from as fast as you can. Right? But you couldn't.
You mean Balloon Boy didn't scare you?
Oh, did you know what? Balloon Boy definitely creeped me out.
Nice.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, he was in the locker.
Yeah, I was like, what
first.
the heck?
And then
the locker in the storage room.
Yeah, I'm like,
storage room and then camp. Yep.
All right.
That was creepy.
Other
than that, yeah, I mean, I didn't expect much of the movie to begin with.
That's true. Me neither. I wasn't expecting to see like this, like, you know, Avengers Endgame kind of film, but I
Yeah.
didn't enjoy it. You know, I mean, as someone who's never seen,
You didn't enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. I did. Have
Oh,
a
you
good
did
time,
enjoy it.
yeah, watching it.
I did too. I
Yeah.
did too. The first time I was just like super lost because, like I said, I was just being distracted about Angel's comments over here. But the thing is that if it wasn't for Angel not knowing the backstory and not there to explain it, I would have not known a lot of things that I know now about the movie.
Right.
Right.
So when I watched it the second time, I still ask questions, and that's where the golden,
Bear.
the golden bear,
Or
the golden
Super
Freddy
Saiyan
came
Freddy.
about.
Yep.
Super Saiyan Freddy
Yeah.
came
Mhm.
around. So, and like I said, if I didn't know like it was a video game, if I didn't know that there was some backstory or there's some secret Easter egg kind of stuff that is giving like a nod to the video game, then I would have just like, what the heck kind of movie is this?
Hmm.
But like Leo said at the beginning, it was more of like a movie that is kind of catering to the fans.
Hmm.
And I think it's 100% that because, again, Angel like watched this whole movie. He watched it like 5 times, I think. And,
Oh, geez.
and he's, I don't know, but he really liked this movie. Speaking of that, he gives this movie an 8.5, just to throw it out there.
An
A
8.5?
B?
Yeah, 8.5 out of 10.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, if I think I would have to ask him what his reasoning is, why it's like not like 10 or 9, but I think I would give it an 8 out of 10 also.
8?
And this is
Okay.
like with knowing what Angel's information gave to me and what I watched from the actual. So I think an 8 out of 10.
Oh, are you also giving it an 8 out of 10?
I'm getting an 8 out of 10. Angel's giving it 8.5 out
I
of
see.
10.
Okay.
Yeah, he's giving it a half. I don't know.
Okay.
He's giving that half point more.
Try to be cool.
Giving that half. So while I was watching this movie, I don't know if you guys have watched the another movie, but with Nicolas Cage, Willy's Wonderland. Have you watched that?
Willy's Wonderland? Is that the
Willy's
one he's in
Wonderland.
Vegas?
No, it's literally the exact same movie, except with Nicolas Cage. This came out maybe 2 years ago, and I enjoyed the movie a lot. I thought Willy Wonderland was really good, and I personally think Willy's Wonderland is better than Five Nights at Freddy's. Personally, because Nicolas Cage. So I don't know if you guys are fans of Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I am.
I enjoy him. I don't think he's the best in the world, but I enjoy his movies. I've never watched a movie where I'm like, wow, that was just absolute garbage. At least not yet.
Mhm.
But there, I know that a lot of people who don't like him complain about his voice. Like they just don't like the sound of his voice. My wife is one of them. My brother is another one. I think my sister also. Like they do not like him, and they're like, his voice just bothers me. This entire, if you watch Willy's Wonderland, which you should, go watch it. The entire movie, he doesn't say a single word throughout the whole movie, right? But it's a good movie. It's funny. It's funny. It's a parody. I feel like they made Willy's Wonderland as a parody to the game of Freddy's Five Nights at Freddy's,
Okay.
right? But before Five Nights came out as a movie, and they made the Willy's Wonderland parody movie of the game. Because it's funny, but it's also trying to scare you at the same time. So it's like a horror comedy kind of, if you want to think of it that way.
Okay.
Which I feel like Freddy's is kind of the same. It's trying to be like a horror comedy. It's not trying to take itself super serious. But I enjoyed Willy's Wonderland a lot more. So if you like Freddy's, I definitely suggest you guys go watch Willy's Wonderland with Nicolas Cage. Even if you don't like his voice, you won't have to hear it. So that's a positive.
That's funny. I'm looking at this little trailer here without any sound, and it looks pretty good. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, it was really good. I thought it was really good. So with that, I give Freddy's I give it like maybe a 6.5. I thought it was okay. I with what Randolph was telling us about like some of the Easter eggs, I give it a 7. But from the knowledge that I only had from watching the movie, I give it a 6.5 because I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like it didn't change my life in any way or shape or form.
Right. Okay. That's a good score. I give it a 7.5. I give it a 7.5 because of the human touch to it. You know what I mean? Like there was definitely a bond between the brother and sister. The sister didn't want to leave her brother, but she didn't know how to express herself, which is very kid-like. You know what I mean? A lot of kids
Normal.
can't really express how they feel right away. And
Well, it's not like he was willing to listen anyways.
That is true. Well, until her leaving or the aunt taking
Right.
custody, that's where you really see. But like on the times where he would want to talk to her, they never did. You know what I mean? Like he always
Mhm.
asked her to eat with them, and she never did. So on times where she wanted to reach out, he never listened, and on times that he reached out, she didn't listen. So it was kind of like, oh yeah, you guys are
Right.
related. But yeah, I definitely give the movie a 7.5. It's in the C range for me. It became predictable at a certain point. So you know, it was just like a good movie to watch. Would I watch? I would say like maybe like it's like for the family at the house kind of movie. So yeah. I think that's going to wrap up this episode. Don't forget to follow us on IG, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Anchor FM. You can listen to us every Monday on Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and Stitcher. Subscribe to the YouTube channel to check out our videos, and please leave a comment. Don't forget to turn it to 11.